Hello and welcome back to Plant Layout in Pursuit of Operational Excellence, an InvestNI video tutorial. In the previous chapter, we were looking at how to organise the process stages in a factory manufacturing wooden doors. In this one, we'll examine how to make sure they're coordinated to achieve your production targets. We can imagine a line of 4 stages, each contributing a quarter of the total work content in processing a door. In reality, things are never so neat. Each stage may take 15 minutes on average. This time will vary because no 2 doors and no 2 workers are the same. Quality of the wood may vary, requiring more time or less time to plane and sand. There are usually slight variations in the efforts of each person or the performance of each machine in the line. This is known as task time variation. This variation can make the flow of work along the line irregular, leading to queues of work in progress and lost processing time. The result is less efficiency and may require additional resources, such as more staff time or storage space at additional cost. How can we make allowances for task time variation? This is the most problematic product layout design decision. The answer is line balancing. In the door processing line, we've assumed that 15 minutes of work content can be allocated equally to each of the 4 processing stages. But this is nearly impossible to achieve in practice, increasing the effective cycle time of the line. In reality, the final stage takes 20 minutes, which means that each of the preceding stages must wait an extra 5 minutes before passing their work on. This pushes the total work content up from 60 minutes to 80 minutes. This lost time is known as balancing loss. Balancing loss is expressed as a percentage of the total time it takes to process a product. In this case, the time lost is 20 minutes and the total time is 80 minutes, so the balancing loss stands at 25%. What to do? There are several techniques to help correct line balancing issues. A common one is a precedence diagram. In a precedence diagram, each task is represented by a circle, and each circle notes the name of the task and the length of time it takes. The circles are connected by arrows that show the ordering of each element. 2 rules apply when organising the diagram. Draw each circle as far to the left as possible. None of the arrows should be vertical. Start with the required cycle time and the required number of stages. Allocate the tasks to each stage starting from the left. Make sure that the work allocated to each stage is as close to, but less than the cycle time. When a stage is as full as possible, move on to the next stage. Continue this process until all the tasks have been allocated. Sometimes you may have to choose between 2 elements where each could fit into a stage, but not both. Here's 2 rules of thumb to make the choice easier. Choose the largest task that will fit into the time remaining in the stage. Choose the task with the most followers, the one with the highest number of subsequent tasks that can only be allocated after that task. Let's work up a precedence diagram to allocate tasks to processing stages in a cake factory. The cake factory has been contracted to supply a supermarket chain with a specialty cake. The factory will require a new production line to finish, decorate and pack the cakes. Here are the tasks and the time that it takes to complete each. We can begin by arranging these tasks, starting at the left-hand side and adding them in the order they occur, joined by arrows. The supermarket has placed an order for 5,000 cakes a week. The cake factory operates for 40 hours per week. That's 2,400 minutes. We can use these figures to calculate the required cycle time. A new cake must start production every 28.8 seconds if the factory is to achieve its target. How many stages does that require? The total work content is 100.86 seconds. We can use this to calculate the number of stages the factory will need. The factory requires 3.5 stages to meet its target cycle time. Of course, the factory can't have half a stage, so we can round that up to 4. If we round it down to 3, it would have too few. Let's allocate these tasks to the 4 stages. Remember, each stage must come to no more than 28.8 seconds. We can allocate elements A and B to stage 1. They total 25.2 seconds, within the 28.8 second limit. Including element C to stage 1 would take it over 28.8 seconds. It receives its own stage, stage 2. Element D is allocated to stage 3. Both element E and element F are short enough to include in stage 3, but following the largest element rule, we should include element E. The remaining elements are allocated to stage 4. The cake product line task time allocation isn't perfect, but it is reasonable. Not all stages in a product line need to be sequential. Workers decorate some cakes with red icing in task E, while another team decorate others with green in task F. While some cakes receive blue icing in G, others have transfers affixed in task H. These parallel processes allow the factory to deepen its product mix while conserving production time. That concludes this chapter. In the next, we'll look at variations on a straight product line and the benefits they can bring to your operations. See you soon.